Hello, my name is Seth Garcia, and my topic for my proposal paper, my research paper, is the prohibition. And the main question that I'm presenting is that did the problem really change? Did the prohibition really change anything? And what did it prove? What did it prove? This prohibition started in the 1920s to 1933, where it eventually just down spiraled and people stopped with the prohibition. The government stopped making this law and discontinued this law of there being no alcohol and discontinuing the manufacturing of it. And we need to know why the government stopped doing this and why people continued to bask in their ways, even though the government said not to. It's important to relate this sort of thing to our own lives. I've always find it's easier to understand things and comprehend things if we relate it to our own experiences and daily, functionalities. Like, for example, I remember when I was a kid, if they ever did, I was a Star Wars toy fanatic, and anytime they discontinue a certain toy or something like that, a collectible, I remember everyone would go crazy about it, and it was so insane. Like, the moment they discontinued it, there would be less of those being bought, but eventually people caught the drift and started selling them. They started figuring out ways to get that toy under the radar, and by under the radar I mean Amazon. I mean, in this scenario, it's not really like a big deal, but people still found ways to get it, and people were more hungry for that specific toy than all the other ones that were still being sold in the store. This relates to the alcohol prohibition because the moment the government banned alcohol, people went crazy, and they sought ways to make it in their own homes. They even found ways to, like, they made an underground community who everyone knew where to get the alcohol at, where to get the alcohol from. And even though it started in the 1920s, it was still happening before then. Like, people were still trying to figure out, the government was still trying their best to figure out how to ban alcohol because they were seeing this as the biggest source to their problems. And that just wasn't true. I mean, I understand how they could see that because of the people who were dying, families being abandoned, children growing up with this lifestyle around them, family drinking, brother drinking, sister drinking, everyone, mother and the father, people act like dying because of intoxication, just a lot of things. And it was down spiraling. Their health was down spiraling as well. So I could see why they were concerned about that and developing a fix, but it was not working because if you ban something that's not meant to be illegal, it's gonna just blow up even more. And that's just logic. That goes with every single drug out there, And the prohibition was a key point in history where alcohol was perceived as the main source of everybody's problem. However, today in 2021, it is seen and portrayed as a daily type of thing, scarcely made out to be an issue. It is engraved in much of our culture and daily life that isn't looked at as a problem by most. Music, TV shows, and commercials all encourage it in the years we live in today. Hardly anything compared to how people felt in the 1920s when Prohibition started. So the main question is, did the Prohibition, how it's important to figure out how the Prohibition led to the society we live in right now. Media we are surrounded by right now. Promotion of certain things that we are involved in and witness every day, right today, I really believe the Prohibition had to do with that. The way I'll present this, though, I'm gonna try my best to present it in a basic manner, put in examples in it, specifically the Star Wars analogy. By Star Wars analogy, I mean, like, if something is discontinued, more people are gonna want to gravitate towards it, and I'm pretty sure that's why the Prohibition stopped. And those who wanted to keep drinking kept on finding ways to do it, and that's really the moral of this whole story. Like, people are always gonna find a way to do something that they shouldn't, and yeah. So that's my proposal for this paper.